Hi, this is Jay Rosenzweig. I'm the founder and CEO of birthparentfinder.com. And with me, I have Jennifer Bowie, who came to us last January in search for her birth parents, both mother and father. And she had really no other information other than the fact that she took an ancestry DNA test, and there were some relatives on both sides of the family, but it was inconclusive. So, with some of my data, I was able to figure out the last name of the birth father, and I contacted a relative who put me in contact with the birth father, and he was so kind enough to give me your birth mother's name, and we found her and we put you in touch with her. How did that go?
It went really well. It was a little nerve-wracking. She lived in another state, so I was only able to contact her by phone, which was a little awkward. But we had a great conversation. I got some information about my history and kind of why she chose to put me up for adoption. And I got the chance to say thank you to her, which was something I'd wanted my whole life. So it was actually really, really good.
So, was she taken back at all that you wanted to reach out?
No, well, she had actually taken some steps, which I didn't find out till then, to actually hope to try and make it easier for me to find her. She'd actually named me and given me her last name as a middle name and biological father's name, last name. And actually, my first name was a female version of his name. And even though she had been married, she never changed her last name. In case I ever did decide to find her, it would make it easier.
So, sometimes birth mothers leave clues purposely, and she did that for you. The great thing was that your birth father was very forthcoming. He gave me medical history information. He gave me information about him, who he was, and the circumstances of your birth. But the bottom line was he really didn't want to talk to you, which is okay, but he was helpful. And did that work for you?
That was fine. I never really wanted to force the issue. I was curious, but I had an amazing life. I had great parents, and like I said, my biggest purpose in all this was to let my birth parents know that it had worked out, that they had made the right choice, and that I'd grown up healthy and happy. And so I had no desire to force a relationship if they didn't want one.
And your birth mother obviously lives in a state, probably several states away, and it's probably hard to get to her. But was there any indication that you guys would meet up in the future?
I don't know. I reached out again via text. It happened to be her birthday shortly after our initial phone conversation. I didn't really get the feel that she was interested in pursuing more contact, which again, I kind of got what I needed from the situation. So, and I hope that she was, because I was actually very sick as a child, and I guess she knew about that. So one of the big things that she wanted to know was if I had any lasting effects from that. I guess that's something that had been concerned her over the years. So I was able to kind of lay her fears to rest. So that was kind of good.
And did she ever say anything to you in your conversations that stuck in your mind?
It was kind of interesting when she put me up for adoption. I guess I come from a long line of teachers in my biological family, so it was very important to her that I go to a couple that was intelligent and that were Catholic. She wanted me to, be raised in a religious family. And, both my parents, although they never went to college themselves, that was one of their biggest things they pushed. They always made sure I went to the best schools, and they really pushed it. So again, it kind of worked out that she got what she wanted for me. Was, and in fact, although I'm not a teacher, part of what I do now in my job is I teach. So that was kind of interesting.
And you have a nice career, a rewarding career. And we spoke about this before, that teaching is part of what you do. And obviously you were raised by good people, and your birth mother did the right thing.
Yes. Yes, very much so. Yeah.
And you were telling me that you saw a picture of her at a young age, and you said you look exactly like her.
Yeah, when you sent me a photo of her, I looked at it. I was like, "Oh my God, that's me!" And I did a little more research on my own through Ancestry.com and was able to find other school photos of her. And there's one where I think I'm almost in the exact same position, the exact same haircut, and it's almost impossible to tell the difference between us. It's a little creepy, actually.
Well, when was the last time you spoke with your birth mom?
I guess last January. So
And that's really the same time we connected the two of you. And do you think you'll talk to her again, or?
I might. I happen to go. I visit fairly regularly the state where she lives, and so I might reach out to her if I'm going out that way to see if she's interested in meeting in person. But again, if she wants to, that'd be great. If not, I'm okay either way.
Right, but if she lived in Southern California, it would have been probably different then.
Yeah, it would have been obviously a lot easier to, reach out that way. But like I said, like if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't.
Right. I had a client who met her birth mother this past weekend. And again, I reunited them last December, and they just met for the first time.
Yeah.
One lives on the East Coast, one lives in Southern California. So it just happened to be this weekend. And it was very nice. They are taking it very slow. And just like you, they didn't talk much. They exchanged photos, and it just happened to work out this weekend. All right. Is there anything else you want to share about this experience with my company specifically?
I was very impressed with how quick the results were. I wasn't expecting, because I think I paid the money on Friday, but you were away for the weekend, so I didn't really start talking to you till Monday. And I think you'd found my birth parents, both of them, by either Tuesday or Wednesday. That was, yeah, it was impressive. Something, I'd waited 46 years for, and it was just there in an instant. It was kind of crazy.
It all played out to perfection.
Yes.
I mean, that was a quick resolve, but some take longer. It just happened to be right there, right in front of me. And we did get cooperation from both of them.
Yeah.
Okay. And I want to thank you, and keep us posted on what's going on in the future.
I will.